dropping 50 points last night, but the Warriors still lose 134-126 to the Clippers. This is the 9th straight road loss for the Warriors. They're 7-27 on the road overall for the season. It's actually the worst differential in the association. Shannon, are the defending champs contenders or pretenders?
They're pretenders because they can't win on the road, Skip. I mean, last night was a 9th straight road loss. They shot, think about it, Skip. You shoot 56% from the floor on the road, and you lose by 8 because you can't get stops. You give up 73 points in the second half. You give up 5 offensive rebounds to Zubac, 4 to Russell Westbrook, 3 to Terrence Mann. The Clippers had 16 as a team, and they outscored you in second chance points 27-11.
Yep.
Normally, they don't lose a ball game when Steph Curry goes 50. Yep. Last time they lost the ball prior to this year was 2013. Now they've lost the last 2 games in which you scored 50 points. Skip, you can't be a championship contending team if you can't win on the road. And they don't even come close to winning on the road. I mean, last night, had it not been for Steph Curry shot 20 of 28.
It's phenomenal. So you just don't see this very often.
If Joel Embiid or Giannis shoot 20, 28, you say, but hey, those are dunks and layups. Hey. Steph Curry 6'2". He ain't dunking and laying up nothing.
He was making dipsy doodle shots in the lane up off the glass. Well, I was just saying.
Goes 8 of
trick shot.
8 of 14.
From 3, yeah.
What was surprising that he went 2 of 4 from the free throw line. The man shot 50% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
But Scott, no, they're not contenders because they're different ball clubs. They miss Andrew Wiggins more than they probably previously
He's
thought.
He's out for personal reasons.
Yeah. Otto Porter Jr. and Bill Issa, Gary Payton II.
He's not.
Skip, they were
ready.
a very good defensive team.
They were.
Now they're middle of the pack. And so the guys that they brought in to replace those guys haven't given them that same level of production. And it shows. Steph Curry is Steph Curry. Clay is playing way better this year than he played last year. But it's all for naught because defensively they're not the same team. They can't keep teams off the glass. They're already undersized. But when you can't keep teams off the glass and they keep pounding you on the offensive glass, eventually you're going to crack. And we saw that last night. No, they're not contenders. They're pretenders.
Look, I hang in with them barely just because of their legacy, what they have achieved. And I know they do know how to do it because they even did it last year.
Right.
And they did it without Kevin Durant last year. But do I think they can go win can they flip the switch and go win the championship? I'm a big no on that. Could they shock somebody in the first round?
Sure.
They would have to say, watch this. They would have to have chips on shoulders and go into a road game and say, watch what we do, and pull one off.
Right.
Where they say, yeah, we've been baiting you all year. We've been slow playing you. We've been laying in the weeds, and we ambushed you. Okay. They are 7-27 on the road. As you said, 9 in a row they've lost, but 7-27. They're only 1 game better on the road than the 2 teams at the very bottom of the West, my Spurs and those Rockets who did beat your Lakers last night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Spurs and Rockets have only 6 road wins. Golden State has only 7. But their home wins are just 1 shy of the most dominant team in basketball, the Nuggets in the West. They are hard to beat at home.
Right.
So in a playoff series, again, in the seeding and the standings, they're not going to have home court advantage.
Right.
So they're going to have to figure out how to go win 1 road game and see if they can make that stand up and win every home game.
Every home game.
Okay, so if you told me that last night Steph Curry would hit 8 of 14 and they as a team would hit 17 of 36, which is 47% from 3, I would have given them a real good shot of winning at Clippers. But no, the Clippers made 16 themselves. They shot 47% themselves from 3.
So they offset you.
They did. They offset your 50 because Kawhi got 30 and PG got 24. And the point is, you said Golden State's middle of the pack on defense. They look like bottom of the barrel last night. They defend nobody. And yeah, here's the great irony, just quick aside about last night, the side story last night, maybe even the back story last night was They treat Russell Westbrook with the least respect any team has ever treated him because they do not guard him.
No.
They just say, if you want that, go ahead and shoot that 10-foot jumper because we just ignore you. Okay? What did he do? Well, there was one shot. I'm going to show you one that he missed this late in the first half. We can see the corner three that he tried. No, that was the good one, I think. Wait, I don't know what we have here. There we are. Oh, yeah. Did you see that? I mean, that's vintage West Brick where he hit the side of the backboard. Right. But as you know, Shannon, he's got no shame. He has no memory. He's like the great cornerback who just, he can't remember getting burned. He'll just keep on shooting. And he actually made a couple of threes. Yes. And he made 6 of 16 shots. And he had 15 points. And guess what? He had 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Right. He couldn't.
And no turnovers.
And 0, I was going to say. He got big 0 at the end of that stat line. Okay, so he couldn't outshoot Stephen Clay, but he could out-hustle Stephen Clay, and he did. He was all over the floor, going for loose balls, stealing the ball, knocking the ball loose, getting rebounds. Look at his offensive rebounds. He got 4 offensive rebounds. Yeah. That was the best game he has played as a Clipper. So we bang on Russ, or at least I do, and I wanted to congratulate him because that worked. But what happened come fourth quarter time? Well, Ty Lue restricted him to 4.5 minutes. Look who played the most minutes in the fourth quarter. Eric Gordon played 6:10, and Terrence Mann played 11 minutes because Terrence Mann you can trust down the stretch. Right. So they're starting to figure out this
that's the formula.
If you will reduce the dosage a little bit of Russ, if you will do smaller doses of Russ, maybe you can get away with Russ and utilize his strengths as opposed to be undone by his weakness.
Yeah, I mean, because, Skip, you look at it, Russ had more rebounds than Stephen Clay combined.
He didn't. Okay, there you go.
And he didn't turn the ball over, so he gave you 7 assists with 0 turnovers. You can live with that. 7 assists and 4 turnovers, not so much.
Yep.
He played a real clean game last night.
He did.
Kawhi was Kawhi, very efficient.
Yep.
Paul George chipped in. Zubas gave you 19 and 16. But, Skip, when you're a small, undersized team, last year they were 6th in defensive rebounding. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now they're way down. Mm-hmm. And so that's your problem. You're a small team, and you let a team keep getting cracks at your goal, you see what'll happen.
Yep. Well, they used to just gloat about their death lineup, and now it's death to them because they're just too small. They got beat on the boards 44-36 last night. Which brings me to Draymond Green. He got his 16th tech last night, which will disqualify him from the next game. He's suspended for 1 game because of that.
You know what? Honestly, if they were to officiate Draymond like they do every other NBA player, Draymond would have 100 techs.
He would. I agree.
All that yelling and screaming, no other player. And I think a lot of the officials say, man, that's just Draymond. And maybe the commissioner says, hey, some of that, just let it go. Because I don't see, now maybe I don't watch every single game, but I watch a lot of the games on the ticket. And the fact of the matter is the way he's talking and yelling and screaming at the official, and he only has 16 techs, he probably should have triple that.
He should. And after he got his 16th, he just stayed steady on that official and just stayed on him, and the official just kept waving him away. He just gets away and gets away with it. I'm going to say it one more time. The biggest picture of this team is that before the season started, he got into it with Jordan Poole.
Yes.
And he punched him in the face.
Right.
And I don't think they've ever been able to quite rise above that cloud. It fractured the best culture in the NBA because they have thrived on their culture. And I'm watching Steve Kerr last night and do the between quarters interview. He just looks tired to me. He looks worn out because I think this is hard on him.
Yeah.
So they go home and they win a game. And the other night he was raving about that was championship stuff. And I'm saying, okay, you beat Phoenix without Kevin Durant. That was championship stuff.
And you beat Milwaukee without Giannis.
They did. Okay. And you're gloating about that because they're trying to cling to what they used to be. Right. They're trying to recreate it, and I don't think it's there anymore. So they're still solidly in the playoffs. They're not in the play-in. They're in the playoffs.
Right.
But I don't fear them.
But, Skip, this has to be a concern. Even after a volcanic eruption like Steph Curry gave you last night on the road, you can't overcome them.
You can't. 50.
The bank,
50
20,
spectacular.
Skip, 20 of 28, 8 of 14.
And want to know the truth? They had an early lead, but they were never really in this game. They were never in this game.
So if he's giving you numbers like that and you can't win on the road, then what?
You can't win.
You can't.
There you
It's
go.
what it is.
Yep.
It is a very bizarre situation with them guys. Their difference in their road versus home record, that's for sure. All right. How much better would Aaron Rodgers actually make this Jets team over to the NFL, guys? Let's discuss. I need your opinions. That's coming up next right here on FS1.